This is Monday's Thinking Reader lesson, and it is about the text The Lighthouse. Today, our learning intention, as always, is to learn to gain a deeper understanding of a text. To help us do that, we have a couple of success criteria. The first one is I can use my prior knowledge to help me make predictions about a text. So before we start reading, let's think about our prior knowledge, so what we already know. So what do you already know about lighthouses? Think about where you might find them, what do they do, why are they important? You could pause this video now and you could have a discussion with somebody next to you if you do have somebody, or just think to yourself, what do you already know about lighthouses? Now it's time to complete your prior knowledge and prediction task then, boys and girls. So pausing this video before you watch the clip to answer these questions. What type of text do you think this is? And your options are, it is a fictional text, is it a non-fiction text, is it a fantasy type story, or is it a horror story, do you think? I'm going to go with non-fiction. So remember, non-fiction means a factual text that's not made up in any way. The reason I've chose non-fiction is because lighthouses are real life things, so I reckon it's going to tell me some information about lighthouses. The next question, it says, what prior knowledge do you have about lighthouses? So we've already had a discussion about this on the last slide, so now it's time to write some of our ideas down. So you can see the word the lighthouse is in the middle there, and we're going to create a little mind map with all of our prior knowledge. So I know that lighthouses are used to warn boats of any rocks that are nearby so that they don't crash into them. I also know that lighthouses sometimes are operated by a man, or they can be electronic. I also know that lighthouses, of course, have a large light on them. And lastly, they are next to water, of course. Is that where boats are kept, or where they sail? So our next success criteria, boys and girls, is that we can use metalinguistics to help me further understand a text. So before we watch this text, I have two words for you to consider. What does the word dangerous mean to you? Again, I would like you to pause this video and have a discussion or a think about what does the word dangerous mean to you. Have you ever heard it used before? There's also a word similar to it, danger, that's the root word. What does it mean to be in danger, or if something is dangerous? The second word that we're going to look at is the word community. What does the word community mean to you? Again, if you could have a discussion with somebody next to you and try and put the word community in a sentence. Now it's time to pause the video and complete your next metalinguistics task, and it's to use the word danger in a sentence. So as an example, I could say, the passengers on the boat were in danger. Were in danger on the rough sea. Now I apologise for my writing, boys and girls, it's difficult to do it on this but you get the idea. And then can you think of 2 synonyms for the word danger? Synonyms, remember, are words that have the same meaning but they're just different. So for example, another word for danger could be peril. If someone's in peril, they're in danger. It could be the word risk. Something is risky, it is dangerous. And then it says, based on your prior knowledge, what do you predict will happen in this text? And that's for you to write your prediction there. Now it is time to watch the clip of the lighthouse. Now you follow the link that's in the PowerPoint there. So again, you're going to have to pause this video, go into the PowerPoint and find this link, and it will take you to this website here. It's called Literacy Shed, and it has the video there for you to play. In case that does not work, it says at the bottom, watch this film on YouTube, watch this film on Vimeo, in case you cannot get it. And when you begin to play the video, it will start for you. And I will pause there and you can watch that video yourself. Now that we've watched the video, our next success criteria is I can use a visualizer to show my understanding of a text. Your task is to create a visualizer of the lighthouse setting. So just to remind ourselves what a visualizer actually is. When you're reading or watching or looking at something, you imagine the picture in your mind. For things like this, when it's a video, it's quite simple for us as it shows us the images. We've been able to see it. So we have to try and create that. So I'm going to try just now. And I'm going to try and create the kind of rocks. And there was a big tall rock. And they were quite jaggy, those rocks. I'm going to colour them in because it was quite dark. And you'll do a much better job than me, boys and girls. Let's see if I've got some blue for the sea. And it was very, very wavy, the sea. So you could hear it at the start of the clip. It was swooshing. So you could do the sea. I might add some bluish other colours into it. Also we had, of course, the lighthouse at the top. And it had this really big, bright light coming from it. And it was nighttime as well, so you could kind of have some blackness in the sky as well. You might want to do little stars if you want, okay? And then you could try and label your diagram. This is what I like to do, so that we can really show that we understood what we saw. So I could label this, I could say here's my rocks. I could say here is the rough sea. Here is my bright lighthouse. My dark sky, and so on. So not only am I drawing it, I'm trying to annotate or label my drawing again to show that I understood and I've really paid attention to what I've watched. So now it's time for you to pause this video and go ahead and try that. Our last success criteria, boys and girls, is I can answer different questions about the main ideas of a text. So we're talking about inferential questions, boys and girls. Now normally I ask you lots of questions about a text, but today I'm going to ask you to create an inferential question for a partner. So I've given you some examples. How does the lighthouse keeper feel when the light goes out? So you have to go back to your video and have a little look. So watch the video, so come to the part, you can replay it. Here he is. How does he feel when the lighthouse goes out? Look at his facial expression. There's gasps. How is he looking? Does he look apprehensive? Does he look happy? He's running. So how do you think he feels when the light goes out? Next question, let's follow along in the video. Why do the villagers come to help the lighthouse keeper? Another example is, how does the lighthouse keeper feel when he receives help, and how do you know that? So there's some examples of different inferential questions that you can discuss with somebody at home, and then you have to create a question for a partner, and you could post that question onto your playground feed on Teams, or you could ask somebody at home to answer your question. And that is our lesson, boys and girls, for today of our Thinking You Did the Lighthouse. Our last little activity is you have 60 seconds, a 60-second challenge. So you can either get a timer out on your phone if you have one, or look at your watch or whatever, and you have to think of as many adjectives as you can to describe the setting in this text. Now, just to be clear, an adjective, remember, is a word that describes a person, a place, or a thing. So we're trying to think of the place, the setting, words that would describe it. So I'm going to give you a few clues. We have dark, because it was night time. We have windy, the wind blew the window shut. We have wavy, the sea was very wavy. We also have noisy, the sea was very noisy, as were the people in the start of the video as well. So there's some examples to get you started. You now have 60 seconds to try to think of as many adjectives as you can. As I said, you could either write them down if you want, you could film yourself saying them. It's totally up to you. Now, thank you for listening, boys and girls. If you could go ahead and try that, and remember to post all of your work either on Class Dojo or on Teams, and I look forward to hearing your questions and seeing all of your work. Any questions, ask me or one of your teachers. Thank you.